I saw Tyra Banks wearing this in the magazine, and you finer than her.
I can't take it at home. Ever since I got expelled, my mom just follows me around the house crying. I can't be around that. Was that Kiefer Sutherland? Why ain't you tipped the brother? Come here, boy. Hold on. I've been waiting to warm this belt up. Ooh, you look faster than little skinny jeans, huh? It's my mother.
Tyrese, what happened was we were just two different type of people. Him and John Singleton, I believe, they bonded because they were the same type of people. They didn't smoke, they didn't drink. I did.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Tyrese specifically wanted to hang out. And I was just like, what do you mean hang out? Like, we're hanging out. Like, no, come to my house. I was like, I can stop by. He's like, no, stay later. And I was like, well, we all out here. Why ain't we got no guns? He's like, well, let's buy some guns. That night, what happened, we were driving around. I actually had 3 guns in the car. And every time I turned the block, it seemed like another cop car got behind it. So by the time I pulled up to the front, I saw my friend stand. I said, come on, man, hop in. We getting out of here. And he looked behind me and saw all the cop cars and was like, nah, I'm good, man. I think I'm gonna stay. You know, true story. So they asked me whose gun was it. I'm like, it's my gun. I couldn't even get in the club a second ago, but now you yelling like I'm Tupac or some shit. And they throwing bottles and rocks and we're getting in the back of the car and bam, the bottom. I'm like, what the hell? And then I hear, oh my God, I got him. And I look over, my best friend's on the floor. I run over to grab him and my other buddy is holding him at the time. And I push him off and I grab him and he's not responding. The back of my hand's full of blood and his mouth is swelling up. There's blood coming out of his mouth. And, you know, get an ambulance. And I'm holding him and I'm holding, you know, and, you know, it was me, him, and a friend of mine. And the guy, I remember the guy jumping around saying, I got him. And he's holding a gun.
Oh, child, grab a seat because we're about to spill some serious tea on Omar Gooding. You know, the guy who always put a smile on our faces with that infectious grin and charm back in the 90s and early 2000s. But behind that charm lies a whirlwind of legal controversies, career transitions, and some wild drama that had us all gasping. From run-ins with the law, including getting busted for possession of firearms and driving under the influence, to character clashes that led to full-blown on-set feuds. Omar's path wasn't always easy, but let me tell you, the man never gave up. He's proof that no matter how messy things get, you can still rise to the top. But hold up, before we even get to the drama, let's rewind a bit, because it wasn't all roses from the start either. Let's talk about where it all began. Omar's family is no stranger to the spotlight. If you're bopping your head right now thinking about the song Everybody Plays the Fool. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. Yup, that's the one. His father, Cuba Gooding Jr., was the voice behind it. Omar came from a family of stars, with his dad being a music legend, his mom an artist, and of course his older brother, Cuba Gooding Jr. You might remember Cuba as that smiling guy in Coming to America. Yes?
That's right. He gonna always be clear to me. I don't give a fuck what chain name to.
That was him sitting in that iconic barbershop scene. Cuba was already a star when Omar was just a kid, and with a 10-year age gap, it would have been easy for Omar to hide in his brother's shadow. But nah, not our guy. Omar wasn't about to play second fiddle to anyone. Born on October 19, 1976 in Los Angeles, Omar was the youngest in his family, and it didn't take long for him to carve out his own path. At the tender age of 9, he auditioned for Nickelodeon's Wild and Crazy Kids. And guess what? He nailed it.
You know how sometimes when you're at a pool, you know, and your parents walk by and they say, hey, don't splash me, I don't want to get wet.
Maybe it was his natural charm or maybe his comedic timing, but that role put him on the map. He was funny. He was versatile, and he had everyone, young and old, glued to their screens.
That rap in there. Cold. Real cold? Did you get a lot of water on you?
His success even helped support his family, who had fallen on hard times after his dad's career hit a snag. At one point, they were even homeless, with his mom moving in with relatives. Can you imagine the pressure on young Omar to step up and help out? But he did, becoming the breadwinner at a young age and giving his family the stability they desperately needed.
At that point, yeah. You know, my father, like I said, the money left, he left. He went chasing. He would, you know, we'd see him and he'd come on holidays and this and that and the third and so forth. And my parents, they broke up and whatnot, blah, blah.
And just when you think things are finally looking up for the Gooding family, bam, trouble knocks on Omar's door. Fast forward to 1995, and Omar, who was 19 at the time, gets arrested.
friends that grew up in Compton and whatnot. They were affiliated. They may not have been active gangbangers. If you're in that element, you're in that element. I know we went somewhere and somebody had a gun. And I was like, well, we all out here. Why ain't we got no guns? He's like, well, let's buy some guns. That night, what happened, we were driving around. I actually had 3 guns in the car. 3 other friends with me. It was brief, but it was a little bit of like, man, whatever. We'll just go park on the street. Damn all that. You know, I'm saving my money for drinks, that type of thing. And we circled a block looking for a spot. And one of my friends had already gotten out. He's like, I'll wait here. So when I circled back to the front, I noticed a cop car got behind me, but I didn't think much of it. I made 2 turns, like, because we went all the way around. Right turn, right turn, right turn. And every time I turned the block, it seemed like another cop car got behind it. So by the time I pulled up to the front, I saw my friend stand. I said, come on, man, hop in. We getting out of here. And he looked behind me and saw the cop cars and was like, nah, I'm good, man. I don't think I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay, you know, true story. So we close the door. We drive maybe 2-3 feet and boom, the sirens go off. Driver, pull over. Turn the engine off, throw the keys out, and we made it to the station.
Honey, being in possession of 1 is bad enough, but 3? Needless to say, this was a huge blow to his reputation. Fortunately for him, instead of serving jail time, Omar was put on 18 months probation. But that didn't mean the public wasn't side-eyeing him. It was a rough time, and after his release, he had to go back to the set of Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
You had to go show up at the set and I guess apologize to everybody?
Yeah, thank God I did. It saved my job, saved my career. Who knows what would have happened? But luckily, Mark Curry heard about it and he called me over to his house and he said, man, yeah, you got to apologize. You got to man up for this and stand up. I'll go to bat for you because I like you, but you got to do your part. So yeah, so first day, I think that happened on the weekend. So like Monday when I showed up for the table read, like right before it started, people weren't looking at me crazy or nothing. It seemed like they were just going to play it off like, well, whatever, we don't read the news. And I was like, can I have your attention for a second? No, play stop, like go on. And yes, I stood up and apologized for embarrassing everyone. It'll never happen again. Terrible judgment, this and that. And they lined up to hug me and everything, you know, and everything, you know what I mean? So it was definitely a good move to fess up and I'd be like, oh man, they tripping. Them wasn't my guns. No.
I'm Mrs. Irvin Rodman.
Yeah, and I'm Mr. Irvin Rodman. That's deep.
I mean, how awkward must that have been? But the drama didn't stop there. Oh no, just when you think Omar's gotten his act together, he finds himself in trouble with the law again. This time, he was arrested for, you guessed it, driving under the influence in 2013. He failed the sobriety test and once again, our guy was taken into custody. The fans were shocked, the critics were ruthless, and for a while, it seemed like Omar's career was about to nosedive for good. And here's where things get juicy. Transitioning from a child star to an adult actor is tough, right? Well, Omar was about to find out just how tough. When he landed a role in Baby Boy, remember him as Sweet Pea?
This in season, they wearing this in Paris. I saw Tyra Banks wearing this in the magazine and you finer than her.
The shift from Nickelodeon star to serious actor wasn't exactly smooth sailing. Before filming even started, Omar got himself involved in a gang fight. Yes, a gang fight. Now, what on earth was Omar doing with a gang? From what we know...
So what happened was I got into a situation where it was me, my best friend on the planet, and then another buddy of mine. We went to a house party. When we got there, again, we weren't gangbangers. Not even my best friend wasn't a gangbanger. Affiliated maybe. There was another gang there. And they approached us, just straight up, hit us up. Where you from? That type of thing. And I was always protective of my guy, but he meant the world to me. He was always the loud, just always blah, blah, blah type of thing. So I kind of stood in front of him because he's shorter than me. And I was just like, yo, this ain't finna go down like this type of thing. But, you know, for them to be gangbangers, and they were all younger than us. That's what I remember too. I always remember I was like, look at these little dudes. Like, if you don't knock it off, what are you gonna do type of thing? But the fight didn't just start. They just surrounded us and then separated us. And still, no one threw a punch. They started throwing bottles. So I remember a bottle came flying my way and I ducked all the way to the floor to duck it. And I stood up like, you know, what's happening? Somebody come up. I'm not just going to charge a bunch of guys. And then I hear, oh my God, I got him. And I look over and my best friend's on the floor, motionless. And then they all ran. It's the wildest thing. Everything that happened to them happened in a window to where, again, we didn't see them again.
But here's the kicker. He took that same raw energy and channeled it into his performance in Baby Boy.
Shoot me, nigga, shoot me!
Turning it into one of the most iconic roles in black cinema. The movie was a hit, and Omar was finally being recognized as a serious actor. But of course, it couldn't just end there. The drama followed him to the set of Baby Boy. It's been reported that tensions ran high between Omar and co-star Ving Rhames.
I don't
get along too well with my baby's mamas. I'm sure you understand.
The two allegedly had not one, not two, but 3 altercations during filming.
In the rehearsals, yeah. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't say 3. It was because you don't touch a man too fucking much, dude. The first time I just remember that I was so, in his face with it that I remember we fell down. And I remember thinking, ooh, he ain't that strong. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what do you do? Blah, blah, blah. Because he's sitting there like, man, if you don't knock it off. But I was fully, I was motivated. I was mad as hell. So I felt like I got the better of him the first time. And the second time he was just like, all right, man, enough is enough.
Word on the street is that these fights stemmed from some kind of on-set interaction. But whatever the cause, it didn't stop the two from remaining professional and finishing the film. After all, the show must go on, right? Oh, but we're not done yet. If you thought the tension between Omar and Ving was bad, just wait until you hear about his beef with Tyrese. Now, Tyrese is known for being a bit of a diva. No shade, just facts. And he wanted to bond with Omar before filming started. So what did he do?
What happened when we actually stood off face to face and yelled at each other about it between me and Tyrese was because he wanted somebody to really, he's like, man, this is my first role. This is my thing. Would you come over to my house and just hang out, stay a couple nights? Like, let's, build this bond of friendship and this and that. And I kind of looked at him like, no, I see you on set. Like, I don't do all that. Like, that's just how I was. Like, we can hang out when we're on set, but no. And he took offense to that.
Thus began a beef that, to this day, has never been resolved. And let's be real, who can blame Omar for wanting to keep his distance? Some people just don't vibe like that, and that's okay. But Tyrese, he wasn't okay with it, and the tension was palpable on set. And just when you thought the tea was cooling off in 2018, Omar found himself in yet another scandal. This time, it wasn't about the law, but about his mouth. While waiting for a pizza at a food court in Las Vegas, Omar got into it with another man and was caught on tape hurling homophobic slurs. According to reports, the man called Omar out for being rude to a restaurant employee, and instead of letting it slide, Omar lashed out, dropping anti-gay slurs and the R word.
Asshole. So what? You don't yell at me no fucking arrest me in a cop. I will arrest you. Do it. You want to arrest me? Do it. I'm a federal agent. Do it. You want to arrest me? Do it. Shut your stupid ass. Guys, the guy. You don't let your stupid ass. Faggot, arrest me. I will. Do it. You don't think I can't?
When security showed up, things calmed down, but the damage was done. Omar later apologized, saying it was late, he was hungry, and that's why he lost his cool. But honey, let's be real. There's no excuse for that kind of language in 2018. Or ever. Speaking of complicated relationships, let's not forget Omar's strained bond with his famous brother, Cuba Gooding Jr. While the two have had their moments of being cool, the 10-year age gap and their vastly different personalities led to some distance between them. Cuba was already a Hollywood A-lister when Omar was still finding his footing, and the dynamic between them wasn't always smooth.
It goes back to the age difference. My mom would call your brother. I'm like, why? He's not gonna listen to what I say. I'm the little baby brother in his eyes. I could be 37, 47, or 57. I'm still the baby brother.
After their father passed away in 2017, it took 5 long years before Omar and Cuba talked about it. Family drama, right? Now, despite all this chaos, Omar managed to keep his career alive. He's been starring in the sitcom Family Time since 2012.
My name is Anthony Stallworth, a.k.a. Tony.
Playing Tony Stallworth, and the show's still going strong.
Y'all just ain't on my level, man. That's the problem with y'all.
What level is that, 3rd grade?
Beyond acting, Omar's got a big heart, too. He's a philanthropist, too, collaborating with the One Step Closer Foundation to raise funds for cerebral palsy research. He's not just out here causing drama, he's actually making a difference. On the relationship front, Omar's had his share of ups and downs. He dated the gorgeous Angel Conwell for 6 years.
The girl that played my girlfriend in the movie, actually, we started dating afterwards.
I was gonna get to that. Yeah. Angel, right?
Angel Conwell. Yeah, shout out to her. Love her to this day. She's dope. But a really good person, real sweetheart of a person. And it kind of started off with me just kind of being a protector type of nigga. You know what I mean? And she was really good with that. She was just like, okay, I'm gonna be here with him.
And though they didn't end up together, there's no bad blood between them. Omar is married to the stunning Nova Mia Vogel, and the couple have 2 beautiful kids. Family means everything to him, and he's definitely a hands-on dad, which is so heartwarming to see after all the drama he's been through. Let's not forget about his awards either. Omar snagged the Young Artist Award for his work on Wild and Crazy Kids and was nominated for an NAACP Image Award for his role in Barbershop. He's got the talent, the range, and the accolades to back it up. And as if that weren't enough, Omar's also dipped his toes into the world of hip-hop, going by the name Big O. In 2019, he dropped an album titled The Excuses, having singles like Homage.
Pay homage to the nigga that I love because I love when the nigga go live on the record.
And let's just say it wasn't half bad. He's clearly got dreams beyond acting, and word on the street is that he's planning to dive into the world of comedy next. Imagine Omar with his own comedy show. With his natural charisma and sense of humor, it would be a hit for sure. As of 2024, Omar's still killing it at 48 years old, and his net worth is a solid $2 million. Not too shabby, right? He's come a long way from the struggles of his early life, and despite all the bumps along the way, he's proof that persistence pays off. Omar's story is one of resilience, drama, and ultimate success.